welcome back to Crafting with Whimsy Wonderland. I'm Stacy. This is the third in a series. I've been showing you how to make all of the components to make these beautiful little trinket boxes. They're beautiful inside and out. I showed you on the last video how to make the flowers using the Art Philosophy Cricut cartridge. I also used this Art Philosophy Cricut cartridge to cut the frames that I will be using around the edge of the box. Okay, so those are cut off of that exact same cartridge that I used before. You're going to need some kind of chalk. I love the pearlescent kind. I love Pebbles Incorporated. It's my favorite chalk. And this happens to be the basic and pearlescent set. So there's a pearlescent color and a basic flat color pot in each one. You're going to need some of those beautiful paper flowers that we made from the last tutorial video. You're going to need 2 pieces of sturdy cardstock. One of them is going to be cut 5 inches by 4 inches. The other will be 4 7/8 by 3 7/8. You're just looking for it to be the width of a piece of paper smaller. And if you look at this, you can see there's not that much of a difference. And then you're going to need the pretty paper, and this one came from a hot buy pack that I got at Michael's called Sophisticated Neutrals. There are some foils in here, some really beautiful paper, and if you wait till it's 70% off, it costs you $5. You're going to take your 2 pieces of cardstock and you're going to score both pieces at 1 inch on all 4 sides. So I'm going to do the 1 inch mark on all 4 sides. Get a good score on this, it's important. This is going to be the structure of your box. So you want good sturdy cardstock and you want a good sharp score on it. Both pieces score at 1 inch, all 4 sides. And I don't know if you can see this score line or not, so I'm going to show you where it is. It comes here and here, okay, all the way around on all 4 corners. So I'm going to cut from the edge of my score line up to the edge of the score line, just mitering off the edge. Then you're going to fold your box in, fold it in on the score lines using your bone folder. You're going to crease it down, and you want a nice sharp crease. Open it up and do the other side. Open them up. Then with your scissors, you're going to clip the long ends right along. I do it just inside the score line. Just 2 snips on the long edge. Long end, I should say. Do that on both pieces. So this becomes the base of your box. I like my Easy Squeeze Quick Dry Tacky Glue. You can use whatever glue works for you. Fold those edges in and hold them down until it takes tack, till it takes hold. Then I fold this flat back a little bit. You've got the ears in here. A little bit of glue. Make sure you get all the way to the corners. Fold it in. Hold it till it tacks. Guess what? You're going to do the same to the other piece. Box is done. To make it pretty, I've set the bottom aside. I'm just going to work on the top. This is where I get out my beautiful pearlescent chalks, and I'm using a paper that's kind of a corally pink with some gray on it. So I'm going to distress my my box using a pink chalk. I'm going to go into my pearlescent pink and I'm going to rub it around until I get a good coating on that little ball. Then I'm going to rub it on all of the edges. And this is the time, if you have a little overhang like I do right there, grab your trusty little scissors and give it a trim. And if you need another dot of glue, now's a good time to do that. You don't need to chalk the whole thing, just the edges on all the sides. Alright, on the top I like to come in a little bit more and round my corners. Make sure that you get a good dark line around that top edge, because that really lends itself to the shabby chicness of this project and it just makes it soft. I do this kind of in a circular manner on the top. I just kind of make an oval, blow off the dust. Just make sure you get a dark line on that crease. The next thing you're going to do is pull out your pretty paper. I have 3 pieces that measure 2 inch by 3 inch. Okay. I have 2 pieces that measure 1 inch by 2 inches, and I have 2 pieces that measure 1 inch by 3. I'm going to decide which one I want for my cover. And I like this one because it's got an all over print, and when I put my frame on it, you'll mostly see this pinkish color in the middle. So that's the one I'm choosing for the box lid. I'm going to glue around the edge, and you need to make sure you get plenty of glue on the edge here because you've got chalk on that box and glue will sometimes not stick to it, so make sure you get plenty. Center it on there and press it down. You may need to trim your paper if your box didn't come out the exact size it was supposed to, if you didn't measure carefully or score carefully. And once you have the top on, I'm going to turn it over. And this is going to need some adjustment as well because now you're going inside of the box instead of on the edge. So this 2 by 3 is just kind of to get you into the ballpark, and then you can just trim off the sides real quick and make sure. So I'm lining the inside of the lid. Here's the bottom of the box, same thing. Look how pretty now your paper is inside. Now you're going to use your 1 inch strips, get glue all the way to the edges. Remember, you're gluing onto chalk, so you need lots. Glue it onto the side. You may need to trim. Make sure you pay attention to those 4 corners. You want them stuck down well. So now I have my box with the pretty paper. Now let's do some fun stuff. I have this box of frames that I've cut off of my Cricut using that Art Philosophy cartridge. I also like to cut bunches of frilly bits. Okay, I use these for leaves on my flowers. So I'm going to hit them with just a little bit of pearlescent green chalk. Just enough to give them a little bit of color so that they look like leaves. Just hit the edges. Not the whole thing is going to show, so it's fine. And you can use a couple different colors of green. This is not colored right now. I'm going to go ahead and glue it down the way it is now. And then when I get my shimmer mist out in a little bit and shimmer the whole thing, it will take on some of that color. And then I grab my flowers. For these little boxes, I prefer the little smaller flowers that I have. I'm going to glue down my little frilly bit there and there. You don't need a whole lot of glue on the back of these. If you have a little puddle, you just push them all in. If you use hot glue, that works too. Okay, so I have my extras. I just kind of trim off. So that's my leaves on the corner. And then I'm going to glue my paper flower. Now, if you look at your paper flowers when you make them off of the Cricut, like I showed you in the last video, the base sometimes makes one side of your flower a little bit flat. Make sure you put that flat part in the center so that your other flowers will cover that up if that happened. So there's my pretty little box. Now, I could bedazzle it with some jewels if I wanted. I could put a couple of jewels down here on the corner. This shimmer mist that I made doesn't have any color in it. All it is alcohol, hairspray, and Snow White LA Colors eyeshadow powder. And all it's going to do is give a big shimmer. It's not going to give any color, extra color to the flowers, but it will add some sparkle. Now I'm going to gently mist the sides so that the paper gets some shimmer. And I'm going to give a little extra shimmer to my flowers and mist the top. Now, take a heat drying tool. You could even use a hair dryer for this. And dry it as quickly as you can because you don't want your paper to curl. Plus, the shimmer appears as it dries. But there's the beautiful little box. All done. So thank you for watching. This has been Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland, and I'm Stacy. Thank you.